All right. Hello, everybody. How are you this morning, this afternoon, this evening, or late night? It could be any time where you are. I don't know. Where are you right now? Tell everybody in the chat. If it's your first time here, welcome. This is English for academic purposes. Can everybody hear me okay? Everybody good? Hey, how are you? So let me say my hellos to the people I do know. French Leo, what's up? Hello. Naitesh, Vivek. Ella, hello. Sarbjeet, you're here as well. Hello. I got your email. Thank you for that. I replied. GS Sandhu, hello. How are you? Let's see who the first was in the chat today. It was Sarbjeet, first to comment at least. And then Naitesh and French Leo. So welcome everybody. I'm glad you guys are here. I am just making sure our controls are all set up and then we're good to go. And everything looks great so far. All right, so we got like 41 people here. Maybe you're a premium subscriber, maybe you're not. If you want to be, I can give you the link to do so. smartenglish.com/live/live. And I will post that not only in the chat here, but I will also post that in our notes. So I'm bringing up our notes right now, and I'll also show you a quick link to where I'm at. So once again, my name is Joshua Porter. I'm the director of Spokane College of English Language in beautiful Spokane, Washington, USA. So my accent is United States English, American English. All of your teachers are Canadian or American for the Smrt Live classes. I'm gonna make a new document here in Google Docs for our notes. So we use Google Docs, which Google Docs is great. We're going to look a little bit more into presentations today and Google Slides or presentation. Yeah, they call it presentation, but it's like slides or PowerPoint. So we'll take a look at that and what you can do. And we looked at Prezi last week. So we're gonna kind of compare the two just a little bit. And then we're going to wrap up our presentations, and if my premium subscribers get their presentations recorded and back to me and give me permission, we're going to watch some next week. If we don't get enough of those submissions that could fill the whole class, we might move on to a new subject. But this is the fourth class in a series where we are teaching presentation skills, speaking skills, which also tie in closely to writing skills and reading skills. Because we're talking about how you're going to speak and deliver your presentation. We're also talking about how to write an outline and organize the information, which is very similar to academic writing, constructing an outline for an essay. We are also talking about reading in that we're examining the slides we create. Is it simple? Is it the most effective language? Are we using an economy of language to say the most information in the shortest space, the smallest space? So, wow, lots of comments. Nora's here, Sebastian's here. Morsal, is that how I say your name? Morsal, hello. Jose is here. Hello, Jose, how are you doing? Our friend Jose from Mexico. I think you said you're from Mexico, right, Jose? We've had two Joses in class. Luca, hello, Luca. How are you? Homer from Honduras. Welcome, Homer from Honduras. It's good to have you here. Thank you for being here. I just talked to a couple students from Honduras yesterday that are coming here to Spokane to study English. So that's awesome. Also, Jose, I talked to a student in Mexico who is coming up to study here with us. He was from Sonora State. Okay, so this is notes for today is the 2nd of March, 2017. Wow, it's so fast. The year's going by so fast. All right. Steve's here as well. And Hugo. Hello. Hugo from Mexico. What's up? Hi. Good to have you. And Ali. Hello, Ali. How are you? Roberto. Wow, we're just getting more and more people. This is great. All right, so everybody, we are doing Smrt Live. This is an English class. This is English for academic purposes. And what we're trying to do right here is prepare you for university, an academic program, or a professional program, or simply to give you intellectual English vocabulary, grammar, in case you have to deliver a presentation in English. Maybe you're a business person who is going to present to a company and you need English skills for that. This class is great for a lot of purposes. It's my favorite class to teach. All right, so hello, Didrol, is that how I say your name? Hello, how are you? And I'm going to show you right here behind me our lesson screen. This is our notes screen, so this is where I'll keep all that important information. The address, smartenglish.com/live that I shared earlier, that is where my key fingers were all in different spots. That is where you can sign up and become a premium subscriber if you like. Make this font a little bigger. My email is joshua.live@smartenglish.com. The other one is my account for this college. You can email me there too, that's all right. And then of course you guys have the link if you're watching this video on YouTube. You could also check out our Facebook page. I will show you my Facebook page and share it in the chat. If we're not friends on Facebook, you can add me. Oop, I don't think that link is correct. Here you go. Here is the link to my page. If you're friends with us on Learn English on Facebook with Smrt, that's another cool program you can sign up for. See, I got friends right here. I'll just add everybody who's requested me, in case you're in the class right now. And yeah, so this is my page. This is my college. I also have this one here, which is my college's page. We have a Mongolian version of it. If you're from Mongolia, what's up? But here is our college as well, which I'll put in the chat. I will also put that in our notes here. Facebook.com/Spokane_College. So if you want to apply and test your English skills and you're thinking about coming to the United States, definitely check out this. Also check out usa-english.com. That website has been redone. It's awesome. Super cool site. Shows you photos of our homestay, what you can get for work, for university, for fun, IELTS and TOEFL. It talks about our organic juice bar downstairs in the building, how to study here, all the things you can do to play, and then American homestay families. It also shows our partner universities and colleges. These are places that you can go to directly after you study at Spokane College of English Language. You can go to Central Washington, Arizona State, Lewis and Clark, University of Idaho, Eastern Washington University. EWU was my school. I love it. It's awesome. Flathead Valley, beautiful campus in Montana. It is my favorite place to travel in the whole wide world of North America. North Idaho College, there's lots of places in the world I like to travel. Carrington and University of Nevada, Reno, which also has a beautiful campus. Those movies that you see, and it's like an American campus and there's college students, that's what that campus looks like. You feel like you're in a movie when you're there. So come check us out. Apply to our college if you want to come to the United States. It's super cheap to live here. By cheap, I mean affordable. You can get a house with an American homestay family for like $500 a month, which you'll never find in LA or Seattle or anything. So yeah, this is the college. Check it out later, but I'm going to get into presentation talk. So our curricula is hosted here on Smrt Live. The curriculum for today's class. I'm going to take attendance really quick for our premium subscribers. And then I'm going to open last week's lesson, our presentation, and more notes on presentations. So here is how, to recap, we outlined our presentations. Hugo asks, Josh, where do you live? I live in Spokane, Washington, USA. I will show you really quick a map to answer your question. Thank you for the question, Hugo. Here is Spokane. It's a beautiful city in Washington State. You can see our downtown city right here in the upper corner. It's gorgeous. There's a beautiful river that goes through. And to give you perspective, here's the United States. We are at the top left of the United States, the upper left corner, northwestern United States. We call this the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We call this the South, East Coast, West Coast. So we're at the top of the West Coast. Your English is not so fluent, Nitesh says. However, I try to talk to people, but they seem not interested in having a conversation in English. How should I practice speaking alone? Nitesh, that is a great question, and that ties into our presentation skills that we're going to talk about. How do you practice presenting alone? Well, luckily, these days, everybody has a video camera and a camera on them at all times. And maybe this isn't true. Maybe you don't have a mobile phone, but probably, and you might be watching us right now on your mobile phone. It's not hard to acquire a camera or a camcorder in most places in the world, in most situations. If you're able to, record yourself. Record yourself and then listen to yourself. And if you're by yourself, there's a couple things you can do. You can record a video of your presentation, your speaking skills, and you can critique yourself. You can make notes. So I'm gonna make notes. How do I practice speaking by myself? Or practice speaking alone would be another way to say that. So here are some tips for us. We can record ourselves, record a video of our speaking. Okay, so like a presentation, what we're doing right now, record that, and in that video, what you can do is watch it again and make notes, right? Listen to the way that you pronounce a word. And then you can go into, I don't normally recommend this for students because there's better ways than using a translation feature, but if you go to dictionary.com or if you go to translate.google.com, I want to make a couple notes here. Dictionary.com, you can search a word. So let's say in my presentation, I'm talking about medicine, and I say this word. Okay. This word, this is kind of a difficult word. It is specific to the medical field, and there is a pronunciation guide right here. But maybe I'm saying coagulate. I can't say it quite well, right? I notice in my video, I say it incorrectly, or I think I'm not pronouncing it correctly. You can type the single word here and then play.
Coagulate or coagulate.
Coagulate or coagulate. Now, coagulate is the verb. Coagulate is maybe British or a noun form. I've never heard coagulate ever in my history of working in the medical field or education. Coagulate. So that's one way you can do it. You could also take this word and you can go into Google Translate and do the same thing. You can hear it. So I make sure English is detected, English is the language here, and I can press the pronunciation button, the listen button. Coagulate. So between, you notice it's a female voice here, it's a male voice here. This gives us two different examples of pronunciation. So you can use this. What I do not recommend is if you have a full sentence, like the wound coagulated quickly. Now, this is getting better and better, this technology of pronunciation, but sentences like this, if you type multiple words, it can sound strange and not like a native speaker. So I do not recommend using full sentences in a pronunciation tool like this for learning how to pronounce the words. Keep it down to single words. So you could break it down into one word at a time. Blood, and do it that way.
Blood.
The blood. Build up on it, but only use one word at a time for pronunciation. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. Okay, other students are facing that same problem. So there's some pronunciation practice. You can make notes. You can critique yourself essentially, and then you can practice listening to pronunciations and then mimicking those. Another thing you can do is watch a short YouTube clip. You could watch this video and you could watch a 10-second portion of me speaking, and you can try to sound exactly like me. I'm amazed at how many of my students that I teach here at our college face-to-face, I have this same conversation quarter after quarter after quarter. Students will say, I didn't know that it was okay to try to sound like you. They're afraid of, in some cases, mimicking or mocking. No, that's a good way to practice. Like, try to sound like a native speaker. Take a native speaker like me, take my words, and speak them. Try to say them exactly like I do, because I have a native American English accent. That is my accent. So if you're pronouncing the words like I do, you're probably pronouncing them correct. Now, I'm not perfect. I don't pronounce all the words exactly like everybody else would say you're supposed to pronounce them in English, because there is sometimes variance. You've heard of tomato, tomato, probably. Nobody I know says tomato. That might be popular in British English, I don't know. But we say tomato, tomato. So you can copy native speakers also. And there's tons of videos online of different native speakers. But our Smrt Live videos are probably better to copy because they are all teachers. We all probably know the exact pronunciation of words, or we know how to pronounce them correctly every time. So try that also. All right, I'm just looking through the chat really quick to see if there's any other questions. Okay, Sarbajit updated his presentation. Awesome, I'll give you feedback on that after this lesson, okay? Technology is an advantage, yes, but be careful that technology doesn't lead you astray. Like I said, if you type a full word into a pronunciation tool, it's not quite good. There's another resource called Natural Reader. I'll share this link with you also. If you have text and you want to hear it, this one is a pretty good pronunciation tool. We can try copying some of our dialogue here, and let's give it a listen and see how good it is.
For your second presentation, you will need to choose an article on the internet.
See, it sounds very robotic. This is one of the better ones that I've found. It's still not perfect though.
For your second presentation, you will need to choose an article on the internet about an academic topic that you can present to the class.
That's a little better. It's still not great. The woman's voice still sounds like a robotic voice, but this is one of the better translation or pronunciation text-to-speech tools that I'm aware of. This one can oftentimes be better than Google Translate. We could even try comparing and put this into Google Translate and see. Let's see if it sounds any better.
For your second presentation, you'll need to choose an article on the internet about an academic topic that you can present to the class. It does not need...
So that's maybe even a little better. It's still robotic though. You're never gonna get perfect pronunciation right now at this point in time with a text-to-speech tool. It's better to try to pronounce things like a native speaker, but those are two options for you. So I'll make sure to include this link in the notes as well, and the translate link. So there's natural readers or translate, Google.com, or dictionary.com was the other one that I offered up there. So those are all options for you. Okay, back to our presentation topic. Which apps or tools do I recommend to improve English? So those are tools that I recommend. Of course, you're not going to find better English instruction than Smrt English. When you're a premium subscriber, you get access to all this. You get access to, I'm a teacher, so I have all the classes, but your classes here. And this, like here's another one of my favorite classes to teach, English 125. And I think this is being taught in Smrt Live right now. It could be 120, but both are really, really good classes. You get tons of organized notes and resources like auxiliary verbs, aspects. I mean, this is really active and passive. These are key, essential parts of English that they have videos included in there. There's Mark, wonderful Mark. There are adverbials, basically everything you will ever need to know to become a perfect English speaker is in Smrt. So that's the best resource because we've taken the best of the best, we've created the things that are missing, and we've put it all together in one organized place for you. The problem with the internet is there's too much information sometimes. There's a lot of great resources, but for you to spend the time to find all of them and to use them effectively, it's not worth it. It'll take you 20 years to perfect your English if you're doing it that way. Where if you have Smrt and if you have a native teacher, a teacher that's a native English speaker, either from Canada or America, United States of America, then you're going to progress much more rapidly. That's how you learn English fast, is immersing yourself. I think Nitesh reached out to me on Facebook yesterday. I think it was Nitesh, and said, how do I become a fluent speaker? How do I do that? Honestly, the best way is to immerse yourself, to live in an English-speaking country with English speakers, make friends, live in that country, go to the grocery store in an English-speaking country, go to the bank, do everything in your life in English, and you can do it in a very short time. If you're just doing it remotely, living in a country that doesn't speak English, it's going to take you a lot longer. So in my opinion, it's worth it to save up a little money, travel to the USA, travel to Canada, travel to Australia if that's the kind of English you want to learn, and learn there. American English, I think, is the most neutral English in the world. So in my opinion, that's the easiest and fastest way to learn English, and then use it anywhere. England, Australia, Ireland, Canada, anywhere that speaks English. So, I mean, I live here, of course, I'm biased, I love it, it's great, but immerse yourself. Now, if you can't, if it's impossible for you to travel to Canada or the United States to learn English, try to create immersion as best you can at home. It's not going to work as well, it's going to be harder, but what you can do is you can surround yourself with English. You can only watch English movies in English, English speakers, native speakers, and never listen to a movie in any other language for a while. Mark off a time on your calendar. For 1 week, try to live only in English. Only hang out with your friends that also speak English. If there's text around your room, like if you have, I have a kombucha here and it is in English, but if I'm in another country, maybe it's in another language. So I can take the time to write the English words and put it over it. That's how you have to create artificial immersion. And it's really hard and it does take a lot of work and it takes more time. But move to Spokane for a short time. Come here for a week, a month, a year, and your English will become perfect. So that's my best advice. It's really the only way you can do it. The only way I've learned any Spanish was when I spent time in Mexico. The only time I've learned French or Haitian Creole is when I lived and spent time in Haiti. I tried to learn before, but it didn't work great until I was actually there using it all the time, then it really helps. Okay, I'm just checking the chat. More advanced words. So this is academic English. This is a great place to learn more advanced words. Come on. Oh, first time. You've been watching through replay. It looks like Satawat. Satawat, is that how I say your name? Welcome. Happy to have you first time. It's great you're in class. Welcome. Everybody say hi to our new students, by the way. Please, if you've been here before, you know how friendly we all are. Please say hi, welcome them. Say welcome to our class. Nitesh did ask yesterday. Thanks again, Nitesh. That's a great question. Jundi, hello, how are you? All right. So Kativa, or Kavita says, hi, what can we do if we can't afford to go abroad? Everything I watch is English movies, songs, but still it's not that much good. That's what I'm talking about. It's really difficult if you can't travel and live somewhere where it's only English-speaking people. You can try to find people, Americans, that are living and working in your cities. That might help, English speakers. Make friends with them. Hugo, no, that's a big, long conversation. We can joke about it on Facebook and stuff, but we'll leave that topic out for now. Andrea's here. Dr. Tawari, hello. You studied English at CCL last year. Awesome. So you know what it's like. Knows what it's like. You learn more when you're there, right? CCEL and SCL are the same kind of classroom. We teach the same classes. One's in America, one's in Canada. I love CCEL. It is very expensive to live in Vancouver, Canada, though. So it's more affordable to travel here to America. But both are amazing campuses. Both have amazing teachers. CCL is bigger than SCEL. And the restaurants, the food, it's amazing. Both places are really, really great places to study and learn English. But I'm glad you're here, Ree. That's awesome. Thank you. So if you have questions about what our colleges are like, you could ask Ree, because Ree's been to one of them. And they're very similar. It's the same setup. The classrooms look the same. Okay. Nora says you should consider them as normal people, not native English speakers. Yeah. I'm not sure where that came from exactly, but they are, yeah. Everybody is normal people, right? Vivek, of course no one's welcoming you, Vivek. We all know you, Vivek. Welcome, Vivek. I'm happy you're here. Funny guy. Beck Marud, hello. It's your first time. Welcome. Happy to have you. Everybody's so awesome here. This is great. Okay. So Sally's asking if Leo is Canadian or American. Leo is French. The French Leo, right? So I'm pretty sure he's French. I don't know. Okay, so Sneaky 33 Peas. That's a fun name, Sneaky Peas. You're new here as well. Naveen, hello, welcome, Naveen. Look how many new students we have. This is great. Miriam, hello, how are you? Steve, okay. You are here as well. I think I said hi already, but hello. Okay. Yes, French. Leo is French, he confirms. In which class? So we're in Marcelo. Hello, Marcelo. So we're in English for academic purposes. This is our presentation class. What I was hoping actually is, and this is a direct message to you premium subscribers. Sarbajit, you're good because you've done the most work, and I thank you. Good job. Sarbajit sent in his presentation. It's awesome, by the way. It's really, really cool. We're working on it together. I haven't seen any other premium subscribers do as much work as Sarbajit. So please formulate your presentation, put it together, and then share it with me, because I hope to, next week, show some of these presentations and talk about it. So whether you want to show your presentation or not, I still want to see it if you're a premium subscriber, so that you can get good feedback, good critique, and we can make you a better presenter, a better speaker, all of that. Okay, so we're about halfway through our class right now. So we have to get into the details of our presentations. I'll give you a tip, Sebastian, a little bit later. I want to stay focused on presentations right now, okay? But please remind me or send me an email or Facebook message later. I'll put my Facebook link in case anybody showed up late, and I'll also post my email in the chat as well, so everybody can email me if you need to. And if you have trouble signing up for Smart English classes, email Zach. He's Zach at Smart English, SMRT English. He can help sign you up. Okay, can you clean the dust and flies house? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that English means, Vivek. Have you been to Mexico? Yes, I've been to Mexico, Hugo. I went to 6 different states. I went to Obregón and Nayarit and where else? Mexico City and Hidalgo. I went through Hidalgo, Sonora, a few different places, but it's beautiful. Mexico's beautiful. I love it, and the food's amazing. I got really fat when I ate in Mexico. Muy guapo. Guapo? No, gordo. Gordo. Not guapo. Gordo. Muy gordo. Anyway. Okay, so practice listening to your pronunciation and then compare it to other pronunciations. So native and natural speakers of English, those are the best to imitate. Imitate and emulate, native speakers. Okay, we want to imitate and emulate native speakers. This means to copy native speakers, act like they act, speak like they speak. It's a good way. Okay. Jundi says, I'm having this weird presentation in my reading class about writing, and all I have to do is just only speaking. Okay. When we're presenting about writing or reading, it's the same skills. It requires the same skills that we've been practicing. So we are, I'm going to bring up presentation 1. We are organizing our information here, like this. Organize an introduction, introduce your topic, present a brief overview. So if your presentation, Jundi, is on writing, you might start with an introduction of yourself. Hi, my name is Jundi, and I'm going to discuss my favorite aspect of writing, the thesis. Maybe. I'm just making this up, right? So you're going to introduce yourself. Who are you? And then what are you going to present on? I'm going to present on the thesis. Who knows what a thesis is? A thesis is a distracting topic. You notice I ask a rhetorical question. I'm not waiting for an answer. I don't want my audience to put their hands up or anything. I just want to get them thinking about the idea. So who knows what a thesis is? Well, actually, a thesis is a very difficult topic to understand, but once you do, you will become a better writer and a better reader. That could be an introduction to a presentation about writing in a reading class. So hopefully that helps. That's how I would do an introduction, basically, if I was going to present a similar presentation in one of those classes. Knight, hello Knight, how are you? Oh, yeah, I speak Spanish a little bit, French, Leo, a little bit of French too. Okay, let's see. So, imitate and emulate, yep, imitate and emulate. Could you tell me I'm preparing for a government job? My biggest problem is English. Please give me some advice. Okay, so Kavita is saying, in preparation for a job, what do? I need a government job. A lot of government jobs will hire on people who are bilingual or multilingual. You know multiple languages, and English is usually one of them that is desirable. They want you to know English because so many people in the world speak English. What you can do to practice is interact like this with people who are learning English, other students, but more importantly, get yourself interacting regularly with someone who is a native speaker. You are going to learn the most ever from hanging out with native speakers. That's why I say if you move to the USA, if you move to Spokane, you're going to learn English quickly because you're going to be living with an American family. You're going to make American friends. You're going to hang out with the teachers. We hang out with our students during lunchtime. This is a pretty cool college in that a lot of colleges you go to, your teachers just teach you in class and then they're done, right? They're like, you leave, and they don't want to talk to you or anything. This is true of some American universities for American students too. Here, we like hanging out with our students. We like learning with them, learning about their cultures. So we sit down at lunch and we hang out at the tables with students and practice English and play games, and sometimes we do karaoke. It's fun. Like, it's a super fun place to be. So make English friends. And if it has to be through Skype, you know, that's one way to do it. Most things like that will, you're better if they're fluent in English and also know English rules and grammar. If you just make an American friend, they probably don't know the rules of their own language because we don't learn it. We learn it naturally. You probably did not learn all the grammar rules of your first language. It just comes naturally. So students who are learning English are resources, but to perfect your English, if it's for a government job, it probably does have to be pretty perfect English, because the person that gets a job in a government job that requires English will actually have to use it regularly. Live in an English-speaking country for a while, or hang out with English teachers and high-level English learners, students. So that's my best advice. So how do I be a complex writer while being creative? How to not be, Sarbaji, you say how to not be a complex writer while being creative. Can you rephrase your question for me, please? There's too many negatives in there. I'm not sure what you mean. Saleh says, yes, I'm a beginner learner. Welcome, Saleh. Happy to have you. Please recommend for me some topics to present and discuss with my classmates and the teacher, Nora says. Nora, let's chat towards the end of class and we'll talk about topics, okay? We'll talk about it with the whole group. I've never lived abroad, but I've created an environment around where I speak English. Vladimir, that's great. That's great. It's the best you can do if you're unable to live abroad. Marcelo says, Josh, when we're talking about presentations, the English, don't say the English, just English and capital. When we talk about presentations, maybe you mean in English. It is important. What are important presentation skills that are useful? Can you show us some techniques? Yes, I will. You're not allowed to use presentation slide. It's too difficult. Any advice? Jundi, if you're having difficulty with presentation slides, the two that I suggest is Prezi, Prezi.com. We talked about this last week. Some of the students, premium subscribers, used this, and I prefer it. I think it's the best presentation tool. I will put this in our notes with our other websites. And if you're a premium subscriber, I'm going to send this file to you. If you're not, you can just watch back on the video and look at these resources, or you can email me and I'll send you the links also. Prezi is good, or Google Slides, which is part of your Drive. If you have a Google account, you get a free Google Drive. Doesn't cost you anything, and you can create a new slide. And we're going to talk about this a little bit. So this is a lot like PowerPoint. It's just stripped down to simple features. I like it. I think Prezi is still a lot better. I prefer Prezi. I'm just checking on the chat here to make sure I get everybody's questions. So Jundi, there's YouTube videos about the basics of this. You can just YouTube and search like, let me see if I can bring another window up here. You can just go to YouTube and search for something like Google slide tutorial. There we go. So here you go. This is Google slide tutorial, and there's lessons. You can learn this way.
PDF file or an ebook that you can read on your iPad, tablet, or e-reader.
Sounds like an okay English speaker. It's also good listening practice. You can do the same thing for Prezi. Prezi tutorial, Prezi for beginners. There's a lot of videos. Find one that you like the speaker and they can go through it. If you're a premium subscriber and you need a tutorial, ask me a list of questions. I will make one for you and I can share it with all of our premium subscribers. So yeah, just send me an email and ask. If you guys want me to create a video that shows you how to do something specific, I can do that. That's not a problem. Happy to. So here's what you would do. You would say my presentation. I'm gonna zoom in here a little bit. We're not gonna add a theme right now. We're gonna do my presentation. Now this is a terrible title. We really shouldn't do that, but I wanna talk about titles and formatting also. So you're kind of seeing some of the features that I can do. I can move the title around. I can, by dragging it up or down. I can make it capital, I can make it bold. This isn't a technical writing class. I'm not going to go into great detail about formatting and technical writing, but the idea is keep it simple. Think of the word kiss. Keep it simple. Seriously. Kiss, K-I-S-S, right? Keep it seriously simple, or simple, seriously. We don't want more than, say, I'm just going to throw a number out, but more than 30 words on a presentation slide. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 right here. My advice, don't do more than 25 or 30. The less, the better. In a presentation, you should be the topic of interest, right? Now, this is still a boring slide. There's nothing cool on it. Maybe I want to put a really cool image on here. So I'm gonna go and just drag it from my Facebook account. Oh, I thought somebody added a friend request. Let's see here. My photos. What's a cool photo? There's some friends of mine. Here's a fun photo. Okay, so this is gonna be part of my presentation. You just drag it over. And then you can change the size of the photo. This is when I used to work at Jurassic Park. It's good stuff. I'm changing the size of the photo and making it so that it will fit my slide. And then I decide where I want to put it. Okay, so I can do that. I could also make it the background. Now, how you go about that is you change the background. I'm right-clicking with my mouse. Trying to make this a little bigger for you. Okay, right-clicking with the mouse, change background, and I can choose an image. When I click choose image, it has my albums, my Google Drive, or I can upload. I can upload from my computer. So here, all I would have to do is save this file, save it as Dino, go in here, upload it from my computer, there it is, uploading it, and then bam, it's my whole background. So now I can get rid of this image, but you can't see my words now. That is a big problem. It is more distracting when you have a big image, but you can't see the words. So here's what my presentation would look like right now. Can you read any of that? No. And this is also a really distracting photo, by the way. What I would want to do with this photo is I would want to change the color of the text just something really visible, and then maybe even move it around so that, and I'm going to choose a different title. Why I am fearful of dinosaurs. Okay, that's the new title of my presentation. Now I have to move it down. There's a little bit of organizing that needs to be done. So I can sort of change the font, move it around so that it is on screen but still visible. Okay? And maybe I decide that I don't want white, I want a more standout color. Okay, that could work. It's okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. So now you can at least read what I wrote. There's not too many letters, and it's there. There. This is still kind of hard to hear, or to read. So you want people to listen to you and not be distracted by something so visual. I would probably choose a different photo, actually. It's just really, really distracting. So choose a photo that works. For presentations, photos like this that have empty space, like where's a good one? This has some empty space, right? So I could use this photo and then I can put the words in the background. That's one possibility as well. So you can move your slide words around so that they are in a place where it's not distracting, it's just there. It's entertaining, but it's not too distracting. Something that has this much action going on in the photo, you would probably want to be just a photo slide. So here's another way we could do it. We can take all this out and we can add a slide. I need to show you this anyhow. So here's where you add a slide. New slide, it's blank. You can click on here and now we're working on this slide. So why I'm fearful of dinosaurs. All of that font I would change to a different color. And then I might add my reasons. 1, large. 2, scary. 3, I was attacked. Okay, so these are my 3 reasons. I'm going to center them. I don't really like that. I'm going to keep them lined up, but bring them over to the center. Okay, you can see I'm changing the box size just to make it a little bit more manageable. I also want the font to be a little bigger. The error with a slide like this would be my font is so small here, some people may not be able to read it. So I want to take my text and I want to make sure that everyone would be able to read this. That's a good size. So now I still want some sort of image on my slide. Remember when I just drug the photo over? So I'm going to go back and just grab a random image. Here, I don't know. Here's another silly photo I've made. Okay. So this is a pretty good slide. Now we're just looking at layout. I want to fill the space. I want to make sure my font is visible but not distracting. There's not too many words on my presentation. And we want to make it look kind of nice. So here, I might just keep one simple title and my name. By Joshua Porter. Okay? So I have my introduction slide, and then I have my outline, like what I'm going to talk about. So where this correlates with our organizational structure is back here in our presentation 1 outline. So I have my introduction, present a brief overview of the content. That's what we're doing here. We're saying, here's my topic. Ooh, I have your attention. Here's what I'm going to talk about. This, and this. I'm preparing people. So my next slide is probably going to be about why dinosaurs are large. So I'm going to add another slide. Enormous. Let's use an academic word. Dinosaurs are enormous. Okay. Now I'm going to go to images.google.com. Dinosaur size. I'm going to type. Look for a good image. Find one that I like. I think this one's cool. So I'm going to put this in my presentation. Now I'm going to show you another very important bit of information with these sorts of images. Let's say that I want to use this slide and I want to make sure that I have the rights for the photo. Google Image has a great resource where you can search using tools, usage rights, and I want them labeled for reuse. And maybe reuse for modification. So these are things that you can basically use for whatever you want, and there's no violation of any rights or copyright. So I'm going to take this and drag it over, use this image. I'm going to delete this other image and bring it into my presentation. Okay, we want to get rid of that. Okay, and lastly, maybe I want to change the background color so it's not as distracting. I could do that too. Change background, and I could choose a color. I want my font to stand out, so I change that to white. Now I have this slide. So we have my main topic. We have an outline of what I'm going to talk about. And then I do go in that order. So it's important I first talk about dinosaurs being large. Secondly, I talk about them being scary. And then I'm going to talk about my personal experience of being attacked by a dinosaur. So topic 1, or primary topic, outline of essay, and this is also introduction. And then I go into my first topic. So here's what a presentation might look like. And I'm going to give you skills as we go. Just making sure I'm answering all these questions. Okay. Yes, we can share some Prezis with you. What software do I use to record this video? This is OBS software and YouTube. Okay, so here we have my presentation. I'm going to remember during my presentation, I'm going to look at my audience. I'm going to scan the room, look at their foreheads if it makes you nervous to look in their eyes, and just make sure you're addressing everyone. Move and speak naturally. So if you're standing up or walking around, you can move your hands, you can turn. You don't want any of your movements to be too much and too distracting, and you don't want them to be so small and rigid that you don't move at all. So a little of both is good. I'm just checking the time here. We're almost out of time. So here is how I might introduce this presentation that we just made up right now. And I, of course, would be standing to the side probably so that you could see my screen. I am not going to look back at my screen. I'm not going to do that. If I'm looking at my screen or reading from my screen, that's bad. Do not read on your screen. So here's my advice to help with that. If you record yourself doing a presentation, see if you ever talk to your audience while you are turned around like this. Here's an example of a bad introduction, okay? Hey everybody, I'm Josh, and today I'm going to talk about dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs, but I also think they're very scary. I was turned around the whole time I was talking to you, right? Here's a better introduction. Hi, everybody. My name is Joshua Porter, and I have a personal experience with dinosaurs. So today, I'm going to describe a few things to you. I'm going to talk about why I am fearful of dinosaurs. I'm fearful of dinosaurs for 3 reasons. Dinosaurs are scary, large. See, I messed up a little. Dinosaurs are large, they are scary, and I was attacked by a dinosaur. Okay? So that, I'm keeping a pretty calm rate of speech. I'm speaking loudly. I'm not yelling and speaking too loudly, and I'm also not speaking super soft. Tone of voice, that's something else you have to, volume of voice, something you have to look for. So questions to ask yourself as you are critiquing your own video. I'll zoom in here so you can see what I'm typing. Questions to ask yourself while you are critiquing your video. My voice, was it too quiet, too loud, too fast, too slow? Those are questions you should ask yourself. How was my voice? Was it too quiet, too loud, too fast, too slow? I could talk really fast and it wouldn't really help. I could talk too slow. I could talk too loud. Or I could talk too quietly. Those are all things that can be distracting or just not effective in a presentation. So mind that if you are speaking too fast, too slow, too quietly, or too loudly. What else? Oh, visual. And this is all actions. These are all actions of yourself. So questions to ask yourself while you are critiquing your video, right? Your video. So this is your voice, your actions. So visual. Did I look at my audience? That's a good thing. Did I read my slides or notes? This is a bad thing. Did I move slightly and appear natural? Like your natural movements. Did I look like I normally do when I'm talking to my friends? Did I move too much and distract from my presentation material? Right? Your presentation material, whatever purpose you have for presenting, you don't want to distract from that, right? You want your audience to go away with that information. So yes, this is like PowerPoint. What if you forget some points while presenting? So Sarbajit asks a great question. What if you forget? If you forget, don't be afraid to make something up. I mean, don't just invent something or create a lie or something like that. But if you have researched your topic, if you know about your presentation and something goes wrong, talk about something else. So I'm talking about in my presentation dinosaurs, right? The time I was attacked. Let's say I have a slide that talks about my third topic here. They're scary and I was attacked. And that doesn't come through. Like my presentation freezes or the internet goes down or there's some big problem. Just tell it from memory. Say, oh, well, as you can see, there's a problem here with my presentation, but you know what? Let me just tell you the story. Here's what happened. I was walking one day home from my college. I was so excited because my students had a great lesson, and all of a sudden, a dinosaur came and attacked me. And then you can describe it. Just don't be afraid to work, as we would say in English idiom, off the cuff. Off the cuff just means making it up as you go. It's very important not to memorize your entire presentation word for word. The students that do that, and some can do it quite well, usually come off less natural than when students sort of memorize their main ideas and present it a little differently each time. It's okay to present it a little differently each time. You want to deliver your key concepts, so your goals in your presentation. Here's your goals. You want to speak and move naturally. You want to deliver your information, your key information, your specific information can vary. You want to adapt to any sort of change or problem that you might encounter. So, you want to deliver your key information and you want to move and speak naturally. So that's usually not memorizing something word for word. You just want to memorize your key concepts, like these 3 things. If I can remember for my presentation, it's about dinosaurs, and I'm going to talk about 3 things. I'm going to talk about the size, how large they are, how scary they are, and my personal story. That's all you really have to remember. And then you practice those things again and again and again. And as long as you remember those 3 main points, large, scary, my story, you're going to be fine. It won't be a problem. Steve Jobs is a great presenter. Sure. I'll make a list of great presenters for you. Great speakers. And maybe we can add to it collectively together. So great speakers and presenters. Steve Jobs is good. I like Barack Obama. I like the way he speaks. I'll fix that. Who else do you guys like? Who do you enjoy as a speaker? Good and bad moving and speaking naturally. Sure, Sarbajit. So good moving is exactly like I move during class. You can watch this whole video and I move pretty naturally. I move my hands around to show emphasis. Sometimes I'm a little extremely emphatic. Emphatic is the word, where I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, this is so important. It's okay to do that as long as you're not doing it all the time. I don't always have my hands up shaking in the screen, but if it's natural to do so, I do. Bad speaking is, like I said, when you're turned away from the audience. This is bad speaking. You want to be addressing your audience. Face your audience. Think about where your feet are pointed. Are they pointed towards your audience? That's kind of where your eyes should be, wherever your feet are. I'll try to give other good and bad examples if you like later on, but Salcon. Okay. Yes, French Leo has a good point. Test with a little audience and get some feedback, make adjustments, and go from there. Here's what I hope for you to do, because we're out of time. For premium subscribers, we're going to do another presentation video next week if I can get enough presentations submitted to me. Because now we're at the point where I want to see what you got. I want to see where you're at. I want to give you feedback. I would love it if you send me a presentation today or tomorrow, because it takes me a while to correct them. If you send me a presentation today and tomorrow, I will give you feedback. I will send you your feedback. You will then make corrections, send it back to me. I'll give you one more round of corrections. And then I'd love for you before next week to record yourself presenting so I can see it. And then I can give you final corrections. So over the course of this next week, you're going to submit a presentation to me, whether it's Prezi or slides, doesn't matter, or PowerPoint, I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Submit it to me so we can look at your presentation first. I'm going to write this down for you too. This is the homework. So submit today or tomorrow your presentation. Sarbajit, you're way ahead of everybody, don't worry. I've already got your second edit out, maybe third. So submit today or tomorrow your presentation. And for first round corrections, so there's going to be 3 things. 1, submit your presentation today or tomorrow for first round corrections. Once corrections are given, submit again for second round corrections. And then third, record your presentation. Record your presentation, okay? And then if you want, give permission to share all or part, if you want. And then we can look at it as a class. So if you're brave, if you want to say, yeah, I want to show a little clip of my presentation and then get feedback. I think you'd be really surprised how helpful your peers can be. Showing it to other students that are learning English, they can tell you what you did great. They can also show you where you can improve and become even better. So these are the 3 things I'd like you to do this week. The sooner the better. That gives me time to give you thorough correction. So please do this. Remind you about movie literature analysis. Let's chat about that after class, okay, Sarbajit? We can do a hangout really quick after class, all right? And then, hard to understand. Okay, so I think that's everything. I really appreciate everyone being here. It looks like we're a little past time, but have a great week, have a great weekend, and like I said, premium subscribers, please send me your presentations soon. That way we can get you your corrections. I'll share this document with you. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And as always, what do we always say? Anybody beat me to it? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you again next week. 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is when this class airs. So we'll see you then. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.
Hi everyone. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smrt Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.